Hi everyone and welcome to Lake Region Live. And Mary, tonight is a show that I should really enjoy, right?
You will really enjoy it. And I'll kind of sit back and take in everything. Kind of a sports show, but that's good because we have a couple of athletes that we really want to highlight tonight.
Well, you know, 6 years ago, we started handing out an award for the top male athlete and the top female athlete for the year. And we're going from January through this, so we have kind of overlapping years there as far as the school sports years go. And tonight we're going to meet Ryan Retzlaff, who is our Male Athlete of the Year for 1994. And Jera Parker from Battle Lake was our Female Athlete of the Year for 1994. She is at college at Mankato State, but her basketball coach, Mike McCarney, agreed to come over and talk about Jera and her performance not only in 94, but throughout her high school career. So we appreciate Mike doing that, and he'll be with us a little later on in the show also.
And we also have a postcard from Will.
That's right.
He's so good about writing. And I even have a Christmas card that he sent. I know you're going to ask me how many cards and letters I've written, Will.
And the answer is?
And the answer is the same as Chris.
Okay.
How's that?
I think in Spanish the term is cero.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
It means none. Of course, I've only written 2. I'm not much better.
Okay.
I'm overdue. Dos.
I know that one.
Dos postcards. Yes, okay.
Well, anyway, we're going to try to get through this and tell you what Willie's up to.
Okay, we'll do that. You get to read the writing tonight.
I think I've been practicing.
And, you know, Ryan was a classmate of Will's, so he might be able to help you.
Well, I think so, and he said he's gotten a couple of letters, too, and he has equally as difficult a time as all of us reading it, so I don't know if he'll be much help, but we'll see.
Okay, we might have to call on Mom and Dad to help us out. Don't go away. We're going to come right back, and when we return, Mike McCarney will join us, and we'll talk about Jera Parker, our Female Athlete of the Year, as Lake Region Live continues.
Well, hi, everybody. Cooper's Office Supply of Fergus Falls would like to take this opportunity to thank all the great people of this area for their support they have given Cooper's over the past 46 years. As 1995 begins, and with all the indications of rising prices on just about everything, let their salespeople show you a great merchandise at unbelievable prices. Start by looking at the tremendous deals on Panasonic copiers. If you're into copiers, Panasonic is the absolute answer. Cooper's truckload sale on Panasonic will help you to wipe out these coming price increases. Start 1995 by getting a tremendous deal on Panasonic equipment at Cooper's Office Supply on the corner of Lincoln and Mill in beautiful downtown Fergus Falls. Even an old goat like Oats LeGrand can operate a Panasonic. They're the greatest.
Otter Tail Power Company says you'll save money 3 ways when you convert your heating system to dual fuel. By adding electric heat, you prolong the life of your present system. You qualify for a generous rebate, and you get a low dual fuel electric rate. So before you replace your heating system, find out how easy it is to save 3 ways by converting to dual fuel. Just talk to your friends at Otter Tail Power Company.
Come to Riverwood and experience the Winter Wonderland Family Getaway. Enjoy Riverwood sauna, indoor pool, whirlpool, skating rink, and groomed cross-country ski trails. If shopping and sports are your quest, Riverwood is only minutes away from the fun of the metro area. Or simply sit back and relax in the luxury of a beautiful Riverwood suite. For the finest and delicious dining, visit Timothy's at Riverwood. Bring the entire family and receive their special holiday rates through January 3rd. Call Riverwood today and experience a winter wonderland.
Since the early 1900s, Nelson Brothers Printing and its staff of professionals has consistently provided the Fergus Falls area with fast, high-quality printing services, assuring you of the best product at the best price. Nelson Brothers features Macintosh desktop publishing with the capability to translate dozens of Macintosh and IBM programs. From initial design to printing of the final product, Nelson Brothers experts will complete any printing job to your total satisfaction and deliver it on time. Plus, they'll label, sort, and mail your printing with their bulk mail service. Nelson Brothers Printing, the print shop with the blue awnings. We'd like to welcome Mike McCarney to the show, and Mike is the girls' basketball coach at Battle Lake High School. And what year are you in now, Mike? Maybe you don't want to answer that question anymore.
Well, you kind of date yourself in a hurry now when you get to be my age, but I think it's about 12 years that I've been in the girls' program, or 13. And I was with the boys' program for a lot of years before that. So it's been a lot of basketball hoops have been shot at Battle Lake since I've been there. But it's been a really great experience. I really enjoyed myself.
Well, Mike is here to talk about one of his outstanding athletes, Jera Parker. Jera graduated last spring. She was a member of your basketball team for 5 years, so it's been different for you to get out there this year without Jera on the floor.
Yes, it has been, and you know, she told me that. She's going to say, what are you going to do now? I've been around your program now for 5 years, and she has. She started as an 8th grader working with us and playing with us. And Jera is one of those super kids, and you know why she accomplishes things in athletics, because she was there all the time. She would, I can't remember Jera missing a practice. She liked to practice, she enjoyed it, and because of that, she had that goal in her mind that she was going to achieve, and she did. She had enough talent to be able to accomplish her goals, and it was just a pleasure having a girl like that around, as it is for anybody to have student athletes around that are that willing to sacrifice and do what they have to do in order to make a team a good team. So, yeah, we really enjoyed her. A lot of years, and a lot of basketball, a lot of softball, and a lot of volleyball with Jera at Battle Lake.
And that's becoming kind of a dying breed, too, the three-sport athletes. And you got the opportunity to coach her in basketball, but as you just mentioned, that wasn't all she did. And really, to do that and also do well in the classroom really says a lot for a person's character.
Yes, and it's getting hard for the girls. I mean, you get pushed more and more by coaches who want to see their programs improve to become a one-sport or at least a two-sport athlete, because it takes so much time in the summertime to develop your game. But at Battle Lake, in the small schools, we're about 30, 35, 40 kids a class at tops, so we have to have our athletes participate in as many sports as we can get them to participate in. We've got a number of them. Kristen Sawyer's an example now. She's a junior, and she's a volleyball player. She's a basketball player, and she's a very good softball player. So we need to have those athletes like Jera and Kristen participate in as many sports as they will. We need it for our programs.
Let's talk about the number of letters that Jera won. This has got to be a school record. 13, is that right?
She has 13 letters. She lettered as a 7th grader in softball, and she lettered through her 12th year. She lettered for me as an 8th grader in basketball, and then she lettered twice in volleyball. So if I added up my numbers correctly, that's 13 letters for Jera, and that's probably a record at Battle Lake. I mean, it's very unusual to have a girl letter that young consistently in more than one sport. So it shows you the quality of athlete that she was, that she could do that in more than just one specialty sport. It wasn't just her size in basketball that gave her the opportunity to play. It was because she was an athlete, and she played in softball and basketball and then in volleyball later. So it's probably a record that's going to be tough to beat, although we've got a couple of young girls coming that are already lettering as 7th graders, so it's possible, but she set a good standard for everybody to follow.
Those girls probably looked up to Jera while she was playing and tried to emulate her. What was her best sport, or what is her best sport athletically?
Well, I think softball probably is her best sport. It's probably her first love, although she played with her heart in all the sports she played in every season. But Jera played softball continuously from the time she could throw a ball in the gym in the springtime until the end of fall. She played in summer rec in about 2 or 3 leagues, and she played, of course, for Coach Tony Teal at Battle Lake from a 7th grade year on up. And she has a great arm, great skills. She's got good size, and she hits the ball well. So she went to Mankato State on her softball scholarship, ran into a little arm problem down there, and kind of in a hiatus now in her career, working to see what happens. But I think softball was her best career. She had the size in basketball, and she had good movement, but she never really had a great supporting cast where she could kind of stand out and go with her game more. She had to do a lot of things for our team when she played. So softball she could control more. Basketball was a little harder for her to control the game.
Must be fun to follow an athlete like that, too. You sound like you've talked to her as she's continued her career in Mankato.
Oh, yeah.
Fun to keep up with those athletes.
Yeah, she's just called me on the phone, as a matter of fact, this weekend about the program, and she, her mother said to make sure I mentioned on the air that it was the genetics from her mother's side that made Jera the athlete she was. But yes, it is. It's fun to follow a girl, and Jera's well-rounded in her career. She did well in music. She was an FHA and FLA leader in Battle Lake, so she's a well-rounded girl, more than one just athletics, and she did well in the classroom. So a great example, and it's a good example of what kids can get out of their high school career if they want to put some effort into it and try. She's a real good example of that.
Well, hopefully she's got quite a few following in her footsteps, or at least trying to do that.
Well, they could follow a lot worse examples than Jera. We're really proud of her in Battle Lake.
She has the record for career points with 1,086, right?
Yeah, she set that record last year. She did it against Underwood in the game at home, so she did it in front of her home fans, and we had a girl with 994 points, Jennifer Peffer, who played for me in, I think, 1986. And the record sat there, and we knew Jera had a good shot of it by the time she was a sophomore, so we just kept kept it in the back of our minds. We don't push those kind of things, individual records, probably as much as maybe they do in other places, but it came naturally for her in a team concept, so it wasn't forced. It came through the flow in the game, early in the game, and the fans erupted, and it's the first time it happened in Battle Lake in girls program. We've had some boys, but not girls.
Well, we've got that videotape, too, that you brought in. Maybe we can roll the tape and kind of relive that night, and you can explain what you're running here on the inbounds play, Mike, to get her the ball.
Okay, we were playing Underwood here. It was in the second half of our league season right here. Jara has the ball down on the low baseline, and she was a good shooter from that corner. We kept trying to get her the ball. Here we flip it high, and she's breaking into the middle, and we're just resetting, moving the ball against Underwood's zone, and she's playing the top of that 1-3 press zone that Underwood had, and there's she liked the right side. She was very good at taking a little side step on the dribble and using the glass on that side. Unusual thing about Jara is that she's one of those girls who bats and throws and shoots a basketball right-handed, but she's a left-hander when it comes to a lot of her more defined skills, handwriting and those kind of things. So we often teased her. She had more layups that she had a problem with on her right hand, but she was deadly with her left hand, and that's unusual for a kid. And that's the celebration of the kids, and you can see how well she was admired and liked by her fans and the players on the team. And one of the girls tonight accused somebody else of pulling a Parker, and I didn't know what they were talking about. And they said, well, you're here 10 minutes early for practice. That's just like Jara Parker used to be. So it's a good celebration, and the fans knew it was coming, and I think it was it's great that athletics can spill over and become a part of a student body, not just for an individual or a coach or a team on the floor, but the student body. Those senior girls there, they're all her classmates and friends that are coming off that aren't in uniform. So terrific experience for me to go through, and I'm sure even more so for Jara. So I really was proud of her and enjoyed that evening.
Okay, Greg, did you get chills?
I did. I've got them still. I get goosebumps easily, and yeah, that's one of the moments that certainly Jara Parker's name is there in the record, but like you said, a lot of people share in that record.
Yes, and that's the fun part of athletics. It has a lot more to do with the X's and O's and the time you spend on the court. It's the relationships you build over the years, and the kids have a chance to come out and meet the Underwood girls. I mean, they're great sports that night. They were all supportive of this kind of thing. So it's happened a few more times in my career, but I've never been on the side where they had the player that had the 1,000. We've had a couple other players do it, and it's really, it's a special night for the kids and the coaches and the programs and for the community. So we really enjoyed it. It was a nice night.
And just to show you how consistent Jara was, the high point total she had in a game was 30, right? So she wasn't scoring 40, 45 points in a game.
No, and I often talked to her. I often thought that she turned down a lot of shots she should have taken for me. But her concept was that we practice hard, we do the drills, we go through the stuff that sets up a team offense and a team defense. And she would take her shots when we got them. The night she had 30 points, a lot of her points came as putbacks on shots that had been missed by her teammates, or she was out in front on the break. So she got her 30. It just seemed to be there naturally. It wasn't a forced 30 that she got where she shot 45 times in order to get her points and try to set a record. And that's the kind of kid she was. She was very much enjoyed playing the game for playing the game, not necessarily personal accomplishments, although she had her goals set herself. So it was fun. She's a good kid to coach that way. It was not a selfish bone in her body, I don't think.
And Jara was your MVP her junior and senior years?
That's correct. She was, we had shortage of seniors in that junior year, so she was a captain for us a couple years, and then she was our MVP. She led us in scoring for 2 years in a row. And unfortunately for Jara, she was MVP, or she was all conference in 3 sports as her senior year. But in her junior year, we got tangled up with a change in programs. We were going through a CNC process with another school, and it didn't work out. So we ended up with a schedule, but no conference schedule. So she didn't have a conference to be a all-conference member of. But she was definitely our MVP, and I know she got some awards through your programs and through the Fergus paper. So she did get recognized, but it would have been nice if she'd been able to have a consecutive record of all-conference, for example, in basketball, because I think she was a sophomore and she would have been as a junior and a senior. It would have been another nice little feather in her hat, but that didn't work out.
All right, well, it's our pleasure to certainly give that honor to Jara to be our 1994 Female Athlete of the Year in this area. And when we talk about that award, we talk about our viewing area, which takes in a large part of Otter Tail County and all of Fergus Falls and the surrounding towns. And I'm trying to remember, I know Brian Carlsrud from Rothsay was the Male Athlete of the Year. Also, Scott Evevold from Underwood. And we've had a couple of girls from out of town, Sarah Happel and Wendy Meyer from Perham, were both Athletes of the Year. So Jera's in good company.
Yes, and we're fortunate in this area. We get to see some very outstanding athletes. You get to see them go on to play at college level, and the folks around here should appreciate the effort some of the young people are putting in, because we have some very nice athletes. And Jera called me on Sunday and knew the program was going to be on, and she was her usual humble self. She doesn't really know that she deserves it, but she's very happy to be recognized. And of course, we know at Battle Lake that she deserves it, the coaches who have worked with her. And so we're very happy that she gets the recognition, and we're happy that Battle Lake community gets the recognition. So it's a nice situation for us all the way around.
All right, I know Jera's going to get this tape. So, Jera, we wish you were here with us tonight, but since you're not, congratulations from us to you by videotape. Isn't tape wonderful, Mary?
It is. Congratulations, Jera.
And Mike, thank you for visiting with us and talking about the accomplishments Jera Parker has achieved over the years and what she has given to this program.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to come over and talk about something that's as enjoyable and as positive as this. So thank you very much for having me.
And when we come back, we're going to talk to another athlete who genetically received his abilities from his mother. That's Ryan Retzlaff will join us. He's the Male Athlete of the Year, and we'll come right back with Ryan.
Let the Sandpiper chefs prepare your special meal at the Sandpiper Restaurant and Lounge in the Westridge Mall. They offer a tremendous menu variety and a complete salad bar. While you're there, check out the relaxed atmosphere of our lounge. Everyone is welcome at the Sandpiper Restaurant and Lounge, Westridge Mall, Fergus Falls.
Walt Disney once said, "There is more treasure in books than in all the pirates' loot on Treasure Island." And best of all, you can enjoy these riches every day of your life. At Victor Lundine's, your Fergus Falls bookstore, you will discover countless treasures which you and your family can enjoy every day of your lives. From children's gems, beautiful poetry and classic novels, to self-help, instructional, and general human interest works, Lundine's has it all. Discover your own treasures at your Fergus Falls bookstore, Lundine's.
Hey, here's a hot deal for Otter Tail Power Company customers.
Just buy me a high-efficiency electric water heater and ask for controlled service. You'll get a $50 to $320 rebate and a low off-peak rate.
So get a hot deal, a generous rebate, and a low off-peak rate on a controlled service high-efficiency electric water heater from your friends at Otter Tail Power Company.
Fergus Tire wants to serve you. No job is too big or too small, and they have quality Goodyear tires to match most any vehicle. For their best Goodyear prices, check out the weekly special and take advantage quick. Even if your vehicle doesn't have a need for new Goodyears, Fergus Tire can supply you with Goodyear Certified Auto Service. Make your appointment today for service for your vehicle from the ground up from Fergus Tire, 222 Cavour Avenue in downtown Fergus Falls.
Caught me.
How about that?
I wasn't looking here.
Daydreaming, were you?
I was daydreaming, dreaming about those shots that I never made. And
Well, I just want to know, Ryan, we'll give you some kind of an award if you can help me get through this a little bit later, all right? This postcard from Will. Obviously, you've gotten a couple.
Yeah.
Did you find it as difficult to get through these as I did?
Yeah, Will doesn't write too big and easy.
But at least
read,
he writes, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you in
And
the same boat
I
with
should
me?
write him back, too, I
Okay.
mean, but... well,
You haven't written him yet?
No, I
Poor Will.
I'm not a good writer. So.
Well, we'll all have to get together and jot down one note and send him.
We'll all sign it. Okay. Well, Ryan Retzlaff is our Male Athlete of the Year for 1994. Ryan, an outstanding basketball career with the Fergus Falls Otters and also in track, going to state the last 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Actually, it was my sophomore and senior year. I was hurt my
That's
junior
right.
year.
Yeah.
So
Okay, 2 of the last 3. And would have been 3 straight if you weren't hurt that junior year.
hopefully, you never know what would have happened, but that's what I'd like to think anyways, so...
Well, let's talk about your career as a Fergus Falls Otter, and you certainly had some outstanding moments on the basketball court and a lot of things to remember. But when you look back, when I was looking at some videotapes from last year and watching some of the action, I got to thinking how special it must have been for you to get the chance to play with your brother, with Jason, at the varsity level. Was that a pretty special time for you?
Oh yeah, that was great. I mean, most people never get to do anything like that. And you know, Jason and I, of course, are brothers and we fight and stuff, but we get along real well, actually. But it was a lot of fun playing with him. He's a real good player, and it was just a lot of fun, you know.
Highlights from your basketball season of a year ago? I know it ended in frustration with the loss to Moorhead, but what were some of the highlights from last year?
Oh, there were a lot. It was just fun, playing. I think my biggest highlight of my basketball career as an Otter was when I was a sophomore, we beat Moorhead at home in overtime, and that was just an unbelievable feeling. I mean, it was just great. And I don't know if I have any other game that quite compared to that at all, or even close. So I think that was my biggest highlight.
Somehow beating Moorhead in overtime at home. Those three things are pretty fun for any athlete, no matter what sport you're playing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Moorhead's just so great in all their sports, and they're the type of team that is really good, and you want to beat them really bad. But then if they do beat you, you cheer for them because they're trying their hardest too, and a good team. So.
Ryan, more than any other high school basketball player I think that I've ever watched, you perhaps played yourself to the point of exhaustion more than anybody that I have ever seen. You must just be physically and emotionally drained after every time you're out there on the court. You don't leave anything on the bench, do you?
Well, that's my one goal usually before every game. I know that some nights I'm not going to come out and shoot real well, and other nights I'll maybe get turnovers or the ball won't bounce my way in a rebound. But if there's one thing I can control, it's how hard I work every game, and that's part of it. I mean, a lot of it's heart and desire, and I think a lot of the real better athletes go out there and leave it all out there and give it all they got, so they at least know they tried their best. So. Well,
that's obvious in the way you play, and one of the most exciting things to watch, I think, when you were on the floor, there was always the possibility when somebody was going up for a shot on the other team that ball was going to come right back out because of your ability to block shots. And I talked to Bob Bjorklund earlier today, wanted to get some numbers. Ryan holds the career blocked shot record by 99 over the nearest teammate or Otter. That's quite an astounding mark. Tell us the secret to being a successful shot blocker in basketball.
I guess it's just because I was gifted. I guess I'm a real quick jumper, and not even so much jump really high or anything. It's just the quickness of how fast you can get up and surprise people. I think that's probably what it was. A lot of people thought they had me beat, where I was able to make up for it in a little quickness. So that's probably it, I guess.
Does it feel as good as a dunk sometimes?
No.
And he's honest too, huh?
No.
It looks as good sometimes.
Oh, sometimes, yeah.
Let's roll some tape. We've got some shots of Ryan in action. I think we have quite a variety here because you do so many things and do them so well. As we take a look, okay, you're leading a fast break here.
Oh yeah, that's something I like to do but didn't do very much of.
See, there's the jam, the two-hand jam. Isn't it great to play in front of a packed house?
Oh, it's just excellent. It's a lot of fun to play in a full house. Here's Moorhead.
There's a block. Good timing there. Nothing outstanding, but you're on the ball.
Yeah, well.
And here's where your game really came a long way the last couple of years. Last year in particular, the outside game. You really worked on that.
Yeah, I had to work on that. For me to get my shots without Kevin and Mark Heidelberger, I had to, after I was done being playing in Kevin's shadow, sort of, I had to go out and create myself a little bit more to get my shots. Otherwise, teams were going to shut me down, so I had to try and add that to my game.
Here comes another block. That one was good. I like the little alley-oop from Jason, too. You guys had that eye contact that kind of led you to a couple of baskets like
that. That worked pretty well. So Jason's a real good passer, so it worked out good.
Let's talk about track. Now, your track season last year, you did make it to state in 2 events, and you did not wind up competing in the finals in either event. But how did you feel about your track career at Fergus Falls High School?
Oh, track's just great. I had Terry Harrington, Greg Noreen, and Paul Zozel for coaches, and all three of them are just great, excellent coaches, and I really enjoyed track a lot. It was a lot of fun just being around the atmosphere that is involved with track at Fergus. As far as the winning goes, winning events, that was almost second to, going to practice and hanging out with my friends and stuff like that. It was really a lot of fun, and that was just kind of a little extra bonus there. And then, of course, going to state was a lot of fun. I was a little disappointed with the long jump because it's such a streaky event, and I just didn't have a good day that day. And, I'd like to think I could have done better, but, the 100... yard dash, so there's some really fast guys down there, and it was just fun running against them. So.
And you weren't that far away from qualifying for the finals in that event. What, 19/100ths of a second, I think it was?
Yeah, something like that. So it was a lot of fun.
The long jump, the steps are so important. Do the long jump areas, the long jump pits vary from location to location?
Some of the runways are faster and you get wider steps for some reason. I don't understand, but down at the state, the seating there is kind of like a bowl type thing, and the wind gets in there and swirls around, and that really screws the long jumper up because the wind either pushes or is against you, and that really affects your steps a lot. So.
Well, Ryan is a record holder, Mary. We told you about the blocked shots. He's also the #1 scorer in Otter history with 1,500 points, and #2 in rebounds with 701. Didn't quite get Kevin Pearson there. I think he had 723.
Nope, he got me by a little bit, so.
But that's not bad company to be in, though.
Oh, no, Kev's a good guy, so.
I was talking to Bob Bjorklund about your field goal percentage, 54% and 58% last year, and he thinks that both of those are right up there in the top 5 for the Otters in career and season records. So you really did well consistently around the basket, and a lot of things to be proud of, Ryan, when you look back at your accomplishments, and we'd like to congratulate you on that. And now I need to know, how is it playing for your dad? What's that like?
Oh, that's just great. I love playing for my dad. It's a lot of fun. I love my teammates out at the college. They're a bunch of great guys. I mean, they're just fun to hang out with. I was lucky enough to get chosen as Player of the Week for a week, and I guess that's one of the nicest awards I've ever gotten, because that was by my peers that selected that, and I just want my teammates to know that they were a big part of that, because somebody had to get me the ball, and they did real well, and we're having a real fun season. So.
You believe you're at this point already? When I came to town, Mary, he was a little guy. Well, he's never been a real little guy, but he was a little guy running around that Spartan floor, picking up balls, putting them in the basket, and now here you are in the blue and gold. It's kind of gone by pretty fast, hasn't it?
It's weird running out into that spotlight. It's like I'm supposed to be sitting watching these other guys run out, and it's a little different this year, so it's fun, though.
Well, you're off to a great start, and certainly had a tremendous high school career, and congratulations, Ryan, on all you've accomplished and on being our 1994 Male Athlete of the Year.
All right, thanks, Craig.
I'm glad you could come tonight. Ryan's got a game, by the way,
That's
at
right,
8 o'clock.
got a game scheduled, 8 o'clock.
Yep,
Better get
I got to
going.
get out there, so.
Okay, we'll let you go. All right, thank you. And Mary, we're going to come back, and you're going to try and read that postcard.
I will.
Okay?
I think I can do it.
A postcard from Will when we come back.
Come to Riverwood and experience the
Thanks,
Winter
Ryan.
Wonderland family getaway. Enjoy Riverwood sauna, indoor pool, whirlpool, skating rink, and groomed cross-country ski trails. If shopping and sports are your quest, Riverwood is only minutes away from the fun of the metro area. Or simply sit back and relax in the luxury of a beautiful Riverwood suite. For the finest and delicious dining, visit Timothy's at Riverwood. Bring the entire family and receive their special holiday rates through January 3rd. Call Riverwood today and experience a winter wonderland.
Well, hi, everybody. Cooper's Office Supply of Fergus Falls would like to take this opportunity to thank all the great people of this area for their support they have given Cooper's over the past 46 years. As 1995 begins, and with all the indications of rising prices on just about everything, let their salespeople show you a great merchandise at unbelievable prices. Start by looking at the tremendous deals on Panasonic copiers. If you're into copiers, Panasonic is the absolute answer. Cooper's truckload sale on Panasonic will help you to wipe out these coming price increases. Start 1995 by getting a tremendous deal on Panasonic equipment at Cooper's Office Supply on the corner of Lincoln and Mill in beautiful downtown Fergus Falls. Even an old goat like Oats LeGrand can operate a Panasonic. They're the greatest.
Well, here it is. Craig, looks like we're not the only people shoveling snow.
A little bit of snow there in
Pamplona.
Pamplona. And what do we have
Here's
here?
what it looks like. Well, what is it, deer?
Elk?
I don't know. They're sort of deerish, elkish. I don't know. What do they have in Pamplona?
I don't know, something with antlers.
Well,
and
it doesn't.
some
And it doesn't.
birds.
He doesn't give us any clue
No.
what that's all about either. But let me give this my best shot.
This is
shall
from
we?
Willie Schultz, who's our exchange student in Spain.
Okay. Yes, Pamplona does get snow. I remember saying a few days before Christmas that I just might miss a white Christmas. I couldn't believe I said that. The next day, it snowed. So little that you had to be outside to see it, but it was snow. I called my parents for Christmas, and the temperature, I don't know, he's starting to revert. I don't know. We have to have some English help when he gets back. The temperature was about the same. Are you guys getting lucky, or is there something behind it? We'll see, because you can always tell luck from ability by its duration.
Oh.
There's something deep for you to ponder the rest of the evening. And it says, have a happy new year, Willie. So.
Okay. Some words of wisdom from Will.
Yeah, boy, I guess. That's as deep as he's gotten so far.
Yes,
huh?
it is.
We'll have to give that some thought.
And we will look forward to next week when we'll be sharing some of the first videotape from Spain.
We'll look forward to that.
And Germany. He got some stuff from Germany,
great.
too.
Good deal.
Went on a little trip there, you know. So we do have that videotape. We're going to put that together for next week on Lake Region Live.
And speaking of snow, one of our guests on Wednesday certainly knows snow well, or at least hopes for it every year, and that's Walt Speedoff.
That's right. I talked to Walt earlier today, and Walt is the president of the Sons of Norway. And next Monday, they're celebrating their 100th anniversary. So he wants to come in and talk about what's going on regarding the Sons of Norway. And he was a little grumpy today because there isn't any snow. Nobody's cross-country skiing right now.
Well, he might feel better after a couple of inches that we got out there today. So, and also joining us on Wednesday night, Dolly Johnson, who is going to tell us a little bit about the Red Cross Bloodmobile. And they have a very special donor. Stanley Jensen is his name. And I think he has given 96 pints. That's like 12 or 13 gallons. That's a lot of blood. And he's been giving blood, I think, for 30-some years. And so he's going to be with us as well to talk about the upcoming Bloodmobile, which will be in town Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week. So.
Okay. Sounds good. So Wednesday night, we'll be back with another Lake Region Live at 6:30. And we remind you, too, that on Thursday night, we'll be over at the Fergus Falls High School gym, live coverage of the Otter girls basketball game against Moorhead. And right now, that Otter girls team under Denny Hansen, they're on a roll. They've won 7 in a row. They play Alexandria tomorrow, but we'll have the Moorhead game for you on Thursday night. And before we leave, I have in my hand a certificate from the Sandpiper Restaurant and Lounge for $10 towards purchase of delicious food from the Sandpiper, and we're going to give that to the first caller at 739. See, I didn't get the number out. 3961. 739, that's 3961. We've got our winner.
We have our winner.
All right.
That'll do it.
That was
Thanks for
easy.
joining us.
Yeah.
And we'll be back on Wednesday with more Lake Region Live.